we're back. Okay, I gotta let my technology catch up. Okay, very good. Farrah, give us some more callers.
Yep, you've got Dave and Grace still holding.
Okay, very good. Dave, what's your comment?
Londa, let me just give you the truth of what's going on here.
Break it down.
So some of these men, let's say you have a man 51 and a young lady 21. That's a 30-year difference. These men are nothing but cradle robbers. They want to date a young woman. She's going out to the clubs, having fun. He wants to disrupt that. Because he's going to tell her, look, you can't go to the club and be around, be up there in the club with them young stallions. He might want one, even one of them. He can't dance and move like them young stallions. And he want to take her youth away from her, having fun at that age.
Baby.
When he was 21, he wasn't dating no 30-year-old women.
No! And here's the situation. And this is what I want to say too, Dave, to my young women. Baby, you only get to be young one time. Don't let no old man steal your youth for a couple dollars and buy you a couple purses, and you look up and then he release you, and then what you doing? You out here competing with women who working, going to school, got a trade, got a skill, and you don't know what in the hell to do. Why? Because you was doing all the work on your back instead of on your feet. Listen, fair exchange ain't robbery. But listen, if an old man gonna be with a young woman, he need to be investing in, she need to have him buying her some houses, investing her in some business, or sending her back to school. Bottom line. At the end of the day, when I come up out of this, I'm going to have something to show for it. And it ain't going to be no Gucci and Versace. It's going to be a doctorate degree. It's going to be me being a nurse. It's going to be me owning a business. It's going to be something else, baby. Something tangible. Okay? Because if you can't see it, it don't exist. Now that's just, and that's just honey truth. Right.
The old cats ain't gonna do that. All they want to do is take her to a McDonald's, get her a meal. He ain't take her to no fast restaurant like you say. Ain't gonna be no stocks and bonds, give her a home or pay for her education. No, he ain't gonna do all that. You know, these old cats, since they came up with Viagra, they want to hit the clubs and date young chicks again. But you old cats out there, you going up against these young stallions who can get it up with no problem. So these old men need to stop this. I've been seeing these cats out here. I'm thinking, with these young females looking like their father, you know, and they want to be their boyfriend. I mean, these men, they're terrible. And I remember last week, Monica, you had a man on there, he was talking about a woman by him dead.
But listen, wait a minute, stop. Listen, and here's the situation. And this is what I want to hit home with. That might have been a little extreme, but it wasn't off the radar. And there are older women who now feel, because I got a couple dollars, I'll buy this for you. You can't buy a man. I think his point was, you can't buy a real one. If a man is a man, I don't care how much money you got. You cannot demasculinize that man. You can't be checking that man, because that's a grown ass man. You cannot do that to a man. That man is not a child. Now, if you all are married, that's something different. But if you dating somebody, where were you? You had my car out. Don't do that. You can't do that to nobody. And because a woman feel that she got a couple dollars, she feel that she can express herself a little bit differently than, say, somebody who need him to bring that money to him. I don't know if what he was saying was like, oh my God, that doesn't happen. It's a lot of older women. I got girlfriends that sell cars. They coming in there, they co-signing for these guys' cars. And they might be my age, 55, co-signing for something 40. Maybe they say, you know what, I can't do nothing 30, but I can do something 40. But guess what? They doing that. And they buying these men.
What?
Yes, honey, yes, they are. Let me say, wait, excuse me, may I? Let me say this to you, and I'm going to keep it 100 with you. It used to be being a woman was the prize. Now, men over 40 who are single are the number one sought after group. It probably in this country. Women don't care. They now say, listen, you know, I used to be when you go to like to the homecomings, you wanted somebody that was like you. Honey, now the only prerequisite is you breathing and you not married. Because a lot of women have gotten out of failed relationships, never married, and they want someone to want them. And they'll buy it. They'll pay for it. They ain't got no problem with that. All they want that person to do is be a companion. Do you know what they got in Asian countries? They have a service that you can actually rent a companion. And all that person do is go everywhere with you. They ain't got to say nothing to you if you don't want them to. They'll just be with you. And one man had a friend, his best friend died. He rented a companion. And it's another man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's not like sexual. You can actually rent a companion. So now, men who are 40 years old, you got women 20 want them, 30 want them, 50 want them, 60 want them. They are now a prize commodity. And so they can basically say, baby, you want to get with this? You got to buy me a car. And they doing it. And these women are doing it. So what he was saying, that wasn't that far off now. That's happening. Now, I don't think women gonna call in on this show and say they doing it.
Have a woman co-sign a constantly have a buy constantly. That man is in one word, a squirrel. Ain't no way in the world I'm having a woman purchase me no car. I work, I can get my own car.
But you and I know, wait a minute, and stop, and I want you to be honest. You and I both know there are women who will escalate the process by bringing out that American Express, by bringing out that money. Baby, I'll do this for you, so they can buy them a man. By any means necessary, they're going to get them somebody. That happens. And it's happening more with women over 40 than it is under 40. Under 40, you at your prime. You ain't got to buy no man. You ain't got to do that. But now these men, they are for sale. A lot of these men are. And I'm not just saying these are men who don't have jobs. These are men who women want their time. And if they find them attractive and they think that they fun, they willing to pay, they willing to pay to play. That's just how things are. And so look at Kris Jenner. She paying for her man. That's her boo. Look at Patti LaBelle. Kris Jenner. Yeah. But look at Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle, 78. Her companion is 46. She said, I don't mind taking care of no man.
It's a different era.
Now you Patti LaBelle, baby, and you paying for it. Yes, you are. And you paying for it, and you giving a little bit more than some songs up too. But thank you so much. We got Grace on the line. I want to take her call. Thanks, babe. Thanks for listening. Grace, how are you?
I'm well. I am well. This has been interesting. Even when I heard it last week, it was very interesting. And that guy, your Dave just thought about the Corvette or whatever the case may be, whatever vehicle. He was extreme to me. I wouldn't say he was a fit. He was extreme to me. And it was kind of humorous because you said you couldn't be bought, but you flip-flopped a few times and you thought about it. He could be bought. He could. But he still may want what he wants. But he could be bought. But neither here nor there, Brian gave the secret. He gave an impeccable template of what was truth and real. Brian, thumbs up to you because I was disappointed if you told the secret. But most men are not going to gravitate towards that because they didn't really get it. But I do agree with you, Brian. I'm going to say this. It's okay that the younger is gravitate towards the older woman. And I'm going to say this particular point in my life, that's kind of what's happening to me. You got to make it very, very clear. I don't really want to date older because normally they want to lock me down and shut me down and kind of control me. I'm just not having that. I have everything that I pretty much so need, or I can regulate. I don't need an individual telling me what I need to do or what my curfew is. Or
Okay.
Get a couple girlfriends. I'm not having that. So I would have to say too that the older woman, you're growing older out there and you're growing younger out there, but the mature factor of these particular individuals play a huge big role. Younger men, young men, if they're mature, they can get a lot further with an older woman. It's not necessarily always the physical part of it. Because I've dated there and dating there, and it's not necessarily always the physical. If you can really, really have that conversation, and this is kind of what she wants out of him, that makes it even better. If it's a physical thing, that's fine. But all older women, and I'm getting a little, it's more geared towards the older. But if you're in shape and you don't look 57 or 61 and you're still looking 40, so they're out there. They can do it, and they're keeping themselves in shape. They can actually pull from both sides, the older man and the younger man.
Yes.
I think it's where your mindset is, if you're physically in shape. But
Grace, let me ask a question.
If you can be 61 and
Grace.
still looking 40,
Right.
45,
Right.
And they're shocked by that, and actually, liking that because they're getting that older woman and she still looks good. This is what I hear.
Grace.
She still looks good.
Grace.
Go ahead.
Let me ask this question. Mm-hmm. So now, you have dated younger men, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, give us the range in which you date the men that you attract to. Because you saying to me, an old man ain't got nothing coming for you.
Of course legal, okay?
I mean,
I've done 21, 22, 23. I've done that. Been there, done that. I even done 19. I'm going to be completely honest, and it is what it is.
Okay.
Because he was worthy.
Listen, and let me say this, but let me say this to you. Did you feel more liberated being with a younger man than being with an older man that wanted to control everything? Was it more liberating?
Well, I'm not going to say they're not necessarily liberating because I have a controlling personality anyway.
Okay.
And most individuals can actually, they can zoom in on that very, very quickly. So when older men are attracted to me, it is because of that in that area of me taking charge. And I'm normally getting the individual that's a little bit wanting to be subservient to me. And that's fine for me. But in areas, I expect him to be a certain way and he rises to the occasion. But normally, and this is for me, I'm getting men, younger and older, that are zoomed in because of my kind of assertive and controlling personality. I get things done and I speak in a certain way. So they're ruled in by that. And do I actually, create that box, that package? Absolutely. As far as what I want, I think I said it last week. I actually put myself in a position to be received. And I've already put it together that I done pointed him out and I put myself in that position and make it like it's his idea. But it's actually mine. I don't already create it.
And so here's the situation. Let me ask this to you, Grace. Now, traditionally when pre-COVID, you could go out, you could meet somebody when you go on a dinner, work with somebody. Well, now that everyone is shut in, how is it that you are finding suitable individuals that you would consider dating since the COVID?
Well, because of my work field, I come in contact with individuals. So normally now, with this COVID thing going on, it is kind of, people are seeing me if I pop into a gas station that I normally pop into, or the grocery store. I'm doing things I need to do because I'm not out unnecessarily. I just get it's work related. And if I need to go to the grocery store, I'm going to the grocery store. And I pick and choose certain times that I go. It's by chance, but I'm going to tell you, I do have pre-COVID. I do have that selection there that hasn't went away. But I do meet others by chance, and not that I'm out searching because I do have that pre-COVID, selection. But it's by chance. It's by chance. I have not been on the hunt or anything of that sort because of this, because I have some few that I keep in contact with, or, we keep in contact with each other. So it's not, I'm not on a hunt. I'm really not. I'm very skeptical now, period, because I don't know where the individual's been. I am forever with my mask and my 4 inches of the window. We're talking like that. I'm just not doing that dating thing. Do I have friends? Absolutely. But I'm not doing the dating thing. And I'm not really trying to bring somebody in new because of what's going on. But are we talking and conversing if it does happen? Absolutely. I'm being cautious. My whole goal was calling in and letting Brian know that, wow, he told some secrets, and we should write a book together. He told some secrets. Great template.
I love it. I love it. Template. Thank you so much, Grace. Let me say this to you.
I can do.
Thank you so much. This is what I can say about Grace that I admire and respect. She knows what she wants, and she gonna go get it. That's just it.
Correct.
If you know that you're gonna go and you just say, you know what, I want a pastrami sandwich. I don't care if somebody frying fish. You say that's not what I want. When you get to be a certain age, you want what you want, how you want it, because guess what? You're not going to settle for something that you don't want. Because as you get older, you don't have to settle, because all them settling days is over with. So the fact of the matter is that basically you're saying, and ladies, listen, she's creating a narrative whereby, because of the way that she looks, because she's taking care of herself, and because of the way that she speaks, that these men, and she's assertive, they want to break her down. They want to break her down. They think that they got enough game to break Grace down. But what they don't understand, this is Grace done created all of this. See, it's like with what happened with the trial. If I already know what you're going to do, you ain't did nothing. So she's out thinking these people. She's setting up the situation where she looked like she being Betty the Fool, and she done put all of this together. It's like when we was kids. Used to play this game called tic-tac-toe. You had them either way. You had them straight or diagonal, but you had them either way. They couldn't move without it. That's how women need to start thinking. Don't be thirsty, okay? Listen, when you go out, look decent. Just don't go out with these bonnets on your head and you're looking and you're already a little couple pounds off. You got to be able to look a little better. You feel better about that. That don't mean you out here on a hunt for nobody. It's just that you never know who may you run into, and you out here with a bonnet on, with some these pants I wear them. And listen to me, I'm telling on myself. Those little $10 pants that you get at like Myers, and they little fleece pants. Oh my God, they feel so good. And girl, somebody gonna run from you. That's how you dress when you want somebody to run from you. But if you gotta go out to the store, look decent, but don't be thirsty, because men are gonna try. And what she was saying is that she's able to push back. She knows that they want to conquer her. And the more that they try, it's like quicksand. The deeper they fall. It's game. but it's a game. It's a different level of game. It's an older woman slick game. And what she's able to do is, without being overtly flirtatious, she moving to her own speed. She's looking good, and her mind is right. And one thing I know about your mind being right, you can be a hot mess. Your mind right, your body walk like, okay, it walk like, your gait like, I am her and this is it, okay? It's just how things roll. My daughters were saying to me, Mom, did you know that Tina Turner was your age talking about private dancer? Tina Turner was the truth. She was too old to be talking about a private dance, but guess what? We danced to it. Why? Because her gait was such. It was like, here I am, I'm her. But when she was broken, that's not attractive. So I salute you, Grace. Keep doing what you do. You know, you talk about Brian giving us a game. Please feel free to call back. Let us know. It's two ways. You ain't got to always be in that kitchen frying chicken and having him some weed and a little brew by the bed. You ain't got to do all of that, okay? We can do this a different way. And what it is men want to break you down, but you got to be stronger than that and quicker than that. And thank you so much, Grace, for calling. We've got another caller. Thank you, Francis. Farrah. Francis?
Yes. Hi. You know, I agree with Grace on this one. A woman can be 57 years old and look 30 and have some class about her, and these men from 20 to 80 years old will want her. And what's so good about it is men from different race, nationalities. And that's all.
But wait a minute, Francis. See, let me say this to you. I wish he had stayed on the line. And let's listen. And this is it. Women, I know y'all love y'all some brothers. I love them too. But that don't mean that you got to limit yourself to dating your race. Black men, it ain't a lot of them. Okay? And if you had one or two, you might not want no more. Or you could. But listen, as you evolve, there is nothing wrong with dating somebody outside your race. You're not trying to have no kids no more. So you want a companion that can complement you where you are mentally, that they can move like you do. Like you might say, you know what? I'm kind of, I want somebody to walk with me. My daughter took me to an exhibition. Now, I don't know if I'd be all doing all that because there was nothing but video on the wall or nothing. But I saw couples there. I said, I can maybe get into this. You got to find something that person is where you are. But what you got to stop doing, you got to stop always, because a man like you trying to, what you doing tonight? Nothing. Won't you come over? You got him steak, chicken, French fries. You want some dessert too? You got to stop doing that. And then you get mad when all they want to do is come over and have sex with you and eat up all your food. Then you mad. But you started that. Listen, let me tell you something. I am not dating right now. And I've not been dating for a while. And I don't want to. But ain't nothing in my refrigerator. Because you know what? When I want to eat, I go out to eat. If I want to make a sandwich, I do. But all of that cooking, I'm not doing it for my children. I'm not doing it for no man. I'm not doing it for nobody unless I want it. If I want a roast, I'll cook it. If I want some greens, I'll cook it. I know how to do a lot of stuff. I'm not doing that no more. That's not who I am. Okay? So, but here you want to make yourself seem like you so good of a woman and your house clean and you cooking him food, then he'll be all in for that food and wanting that sex. Then he don't want to do nothing else. Guess what? One of the things that Grace said, and I like it, you got to make a man earn you. So they look at her. She speaks well. She probably looks good. I'm going to break her down. Oh, she going to be all on me. And before you know it, Grace is the one that's controlling the narrative. She not saying, baby, I'll buy you and being all in your face. You don't have to do that. Subtle. Subtle. That's what Francis was saying. You ain't got to do all of that. Just be subtle. But all of that, inviting men over to your house and cooking for them and then sending them some home, oh, that day is over with. You are no carry out. Okay? Now people got COVID. I wonder what Vonda cooking. Air sandwiches. So if you trying to come over here and eat, I don't know what to tell you because I'm not cooking nothing. Can I cook? Absolutely. Am I cooking? Absolutely not. Because that's not something that I want to do. And I'm not doing that to make someone else's life better. Here you cooking a good meal. You're going to put 3 or 4 hours in there just prepping it, cooking it, and then it's going to take somebody 20 minutes to eat it, and then they're going to leave the dishes all in the sink or whatever want to carry out. Honey, the devil is a liar. I am not doing that. I have not been called to do that. And if you want some if you want some soul food, go to one of these little places that they don't put no seasoning in their food and eat it like you've been eating it. Okay? Because you ain't missing no meals. But just because you can cook don't mean that you need to be up here cooking for no man. Because what that does is it lowers his expectation. But he'll take this same little couple coins that he got in his pocket, and he'll go take somebody out to one of these little fancy restaurants. Why? Because you trying to be his mama and his cook and his private dancer, but you ain't getting nothing for it. That is crazy. Like Grace said and like Francis said, just because you got to be a little bit older don't mean that you just got to settle for nothing. Granted, you may not be able to get a man with 6 figures that got a flat stomach, that maybe is sexually able to do all the things and monogamous and love God. All them, listen, okay, that's a bit much. So you might, out of them 5, you got to figure out what's the top 3 that you want, and you work around that. But you don't have to settle by doing all of this cooking, cleaning, and having sex with these men. Then they get to calling at 10 o'clock. Well, what you doing? Well, why you calling me so late? Because you let them? Because you set the standard for to be disrespectful because you let them slide. You cannot let these men slide. You got to be on them. You training them. It's like training an animal. You got to train them. You got to put them on that leash every time you take them out, even if you don't want to, because you train them. But when you start to relent, when you start getting weak, when you start coming in here and making smorgasbords for dinner and then sending him some cake home for him and his nephew and then having sex with him, you did that to yourself. And then you sitting up here, man, well, why he treating me like that? I make all this money. I got a beautiful home. I got this. Because you let him do that. This man was willing to come in here and treat you far better. But what you do, you got so thirsty that you want to show him I can cook. Hell, anybody over 25 ought to be able to cook. But that don't mean that's what you got to do. I mean, guess what? And that ain't no prerequisite for somebody that's under 30. Because they take them out and they say, what restaurant you want to go to? They don't like them no more than you because you can cook a good salmon croquette, because you can make some greens and macaroni and cheese. Girl, go sit down. That's gone with the wind kind of days. You need to let that go. You want something like that? Baby, listen, where they selling that at? Let's go look up cultural dinners. We can go eat Asian. We can eat black. We can eat white. Whatever you want is somebody that's paid to do that. And I'm not putting nobody out no job. How look gonna tell you to come on my house and I'm a fried chicken and I gotta put out all the chicken places out of business because my food's so good? I'm not doing that. So I have decided that I'm not cooking for no man. No, I can't do that. Even if I wanted to, I'm not. I mean, I can cook, but I just don't choose to because I'm not letting a man get over that easy with me. Okay, I'm sorry. And you sure ain't gonna think you gonna come in here and bring look, take me to a dinner and then think you're gonna be laying up. You can keep all of that. So that's why I think my energy is really not good for a relationship right now. So I just stay in my lane. That's right, Mark. I said it. You right. And Mark was getting on me last week saying, listen, you're a wonderful judge, but you don't need no man. You are absolutely right. Because right now, it's about self and I, baby. Listen. And that's who I'm trying to please up in here. Time out for pleasing kids, man, fish, fire, whatever. And God forbid, like I said, and he may leave before me, but when it's time for go for Prince, I don't want no more pet. I don't want nothing looking at me that I got to take care of. That day is over with. The only thing going to be taking care of me is God and Vonda's law. And on that note, I just want to tell everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully we'll be able to do it next week. I was here. Mark. Let's take Mark right quick. Come on. I only got a couple more minutes. Come on, Mark. What's up?
How you doing, Miss Evans?
Go ahead. It's yours. I ain't going to say nothing. You got the last 5 minutes.
All is well. So I was just calling to ask, by you having so much experience and wisdom as you do, and if you wish to go for a younger guy and that you desire, what if that guy would like to explore in this chapter of his life, due to his elevation in life and his position, just explore what you have to offer, because you have a lot of stuff to offer, not financially, but it can be an entertaining time, enjoying time, just exploring how to guide a young man in the right direction. But it seems like if that opportunity is open for a younger guy, it's only for a long-term piece, but that may not be acceptable for him at his level. So like maybe he just, you do bring a lot of opportunity to the table and can deal with a young man. I'm 31. I own Russell Express. I own 2 trucks. I have 6-figure income, but I don't need the money. But it'll be life to be able to explore a good time with Miss Vonda.
Farrah, I think I'm getting picked up. Hey, Farrah, you think that Mark trying to pick me up on the radio? I think, hey, he gonna be like the kids. He gonna be done trying to slip in my DMs. Hey, Mark. A closed mouth don't get fed, baby. Closed mouth don't get fed, baby. All right. And I love it. And here's the situation. And this is why I take so much time to come and talk about this. To be able to put everybody, we shouldn't say put on game, because we shouldn't call dating a game. Unfortunately, it is almost like it is. And there are rules to it. And what I'm trying to do is to expose many of these preconceptions that men have, that women have. What I want to be able to do is to talk freely about expectations, what we want, what we don't want. We grown. This 9-10. This ain't the Disney Channel. This is grown folks conversation. And so what we need to do is, when people like Brian call in, when people like Grace, like Francis, like Mark call in and give their perspective, they're not trying to berate anybody. They just letting you know what's going on out here, so that you don't get hurt, so that you don't get caught up in an unrealistic situation, and so that you may give somebody a chance, like I think Mark trying to hit up on me. But look, till we meet again, this has been Vonda's Court Unfiltered. Let me just tell you how much I love you. I came in here straight hot from Chicago. And I said, I made sure I wasn't going to let nobody down. I love you. Mask up until we meet again. See you soon. This has been Vonda Evans. Bye-bye.